Hey everyone, it's Alston, and welcome back to day 66 on my journey to 2000. I'll be playing at least one rapid game per day on chess.com until I reach the goal. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and join the Discord in the description down below. And let's get into today's game. All right, and into the rapid pool we go. Let's give that a shot. All right, against the 1612 from India. We're going to get the Caro Can. There were a couple people asking about my vacation. I went to Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado, in the United States, and I'm also a hobby landscape photographer. And I'm going to start putting my photography Instagram down in the description if you guys want to check it out. I'm really passionate about photography. I think it's a lovely hobby, gives you an excuse to get outside, and you can really generate some beautiful art for your own home. And if you're looking for a side hustle, my fiance's entire family is wedding photographers, and they do pretty well. Okay, so we're gonna have the exchange variation. This is not the old Benoni defense. This is the exchange Caro-Kann. This is the Panov. I strongly dislike the Panov. I find it to be a very weird opening. But nonetheless, it is one of the lines of the Caro-Kann. And it scores pretty well. So if I go here, ultimately, what most of my opponents end up doing is pushing this pawn. You don't really want to capture and let them develop their bishop so easily. So if I go knight c6, he can take, 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 take. We're defending sufficiently. So just like any other Caro-Kann, I'm going to put my knight here, and I'm going to wait for his knight to come out so I can pin it, close my pawns, and kind of go from there. And if at any point he takes this pawn, I'm pretty much going to take back with the knight, even after I close the pawn. I'm completely forgetting the word, the pawn chain. I'm pretty much always going to take back with the knight. That'll give him an isolated queen's pawn. That is, I would say, a very nice move, obviously preventing me from doing what I want, but it doesn't completely prevent me from doing what I want because I can just do this. At f5 is a perfectly fine square for the bishop. Queen can come out here, like in some of the lines that I play with the London. In which case, I think that I'll just play queen here. Well, I'll have to play queen here, actually. Okay, so I think it would be nice to close the pawn chain. If I close the pawn chain and he goes here, he's just wasting tempo. I don't really... Positionally, I think it's a bad move for him to do all this. It looks like he's going for a queenside expansion now. He's really just... Yeah, he's really just trying to do the queenside thing, I think. I'm not super scared of anything that's going on yet. I'm not going to castle on the queen side. I'm not really going to do much on the queen side. I think going bishop here would be a mistake because takes, and then I have an isolated pawn. So I think bishop here is solid. I was contemplating a5 to prevent b4, but I think that I don't feel like I'm very scared of b4. Maybe I should be. But I also don't like the prospect of the knight having access to the b5 square. Maybe that's stupid of me. Maybe b4 is a very solid threat that I should be trying to stop. But, if he goes here, I have a solid target here, and I'm going to try to exploit that, I think. Especially if I get castled and kind of take the sting out of this diagonal. Yeah, I think that this is just nothing too crazy for me. He's going to get one hell of an initiative over here, I would say. But he's also lacking in development. I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking out loud a lot today. I actually very rarely play games against the Panov. I think that this might very well be the first rapid game I've played against the Panov. So I think that A6 is a natural continuation. And then, perhaps Rook C8 was better first. Yeah, I like his play. It's just a pretty solid game so far. It's just a Caro-Kann. I mean, it's just completely normal. I would say that neither of us are really testing each other completely. I don't know a lot of the lines in the Panov, so I'm kind of just trying to freestyle, do what I normally do, which is just kind of play solidly. And, yeah, just kind of go from there. So here, takes here. It's definitely the idea. Okay, that's interesting. I would say that it gives up this square, though. I'm not sure how important that square is. Can go here. That doesn't seem to be helping me very much. Speaking in terms of principles, I mean, I understand that when my opponent is pushing on the flanks like that, I really should break in the center. So perhaps I can think about a move like that. It's hard to say, though. So now I think it's worth trying to think about a good move here. I think any pawn push on the queen side is just going to be a mistake here. I'm kind of thinking about this move to facilitate e5. Maybe here, here. Just something to crack the center open seems pretty nice. Right now he's got 3 pieces defending that square. I'm going to need a lot more artillery to be able to push that. But I do think it's a good idea now that his knight has relinquished control of these 2 squares. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm not really seeing any big threats for him or anything. That is a big fail, I think. He has this, but takes. And I feel wonderful in that position. A lot of times in the Caro-Kann, I feel like it's a very good idea to try to go for the d4 pawn, but there's just absolutely no way to get it in this position. Okay, so he's clogged. He's clogged the path. Very interesting. I don't think that I'm very scared of this. Part part of me kind of wants to go back here to do this. Because he's not really threatening anything. Here, just here. There, there. There, there. Slightly unpleasant, perhaps, because I have this pawn is isolated at that point. But I don't think there's anything to really overthink here. So the only real mistake would be taking here with the knight and blundering the fork, obviously. So I think going here to open up my rook long term would be very nice. So like here, well, I mean, I have no idea what he's going to play on the next move. Yeah, that's, in my opinion, a logical continuation. I can drop my bishop back. It's honestly the only good move. So let's just go ahead and do that. Now this knight is really making no sense where it is. If he wants to trade this bishop for his knight, honestly, I do not care. I mean, this bishop is basically cannon fodder in the Caro-Kann. I mean, I understand that positional players like to keep the bishop pair, things like that, or maybe not positional players, but higher rated players. But I feel like this knight has moved around a lot in the opening. This bishop has not. This bishop has no impact on the game. I would say it's controlling no real squares. You know, if he gives me the chance, I'm going to take here on the next move. If he takes and I recapture, I am going to strongly consider doubling his pawns here. His king will be extremely weak in that position. E8 and E5 is an idea if we're able to double the G-pawns. I don't know. It's a longer game. Tell me how you guys are enjoying the 15-10 or 15-5, whatever it is. Yeah, 15-10. Because, yeah, I feel like we can get into a bit of a think tank, and the challenge becomes me trying to like talk the whole time and not have dead air. Doubling the pawns, I mean, it's a decent idea, but like how good is it, right? Because I mean, this bishop is one of my more important pieces. My pawns are on light squares. My dark square bishop can maneuver between them. I honestly feel like a7 could be a good spot for my bishop long term. I mean, there's no way he's going to find any solace for his king this direction. If he ever wants to castle, it's going to be this way, or hide his king, it's going to be this way. And it looks like he does want to castle, which to me is a bit surprising. I think that here is just, you know, a no-brainer at this point. So let's say, you know, at that point he can isolate my queen pawn, though. I'm not necessarily digging that. So what if knight takes e5, pawn takes e5, knight d7, pawn takes d5, bishop takes e5, pawn takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, bishop takes. I feel like that's a decent idea, but then what would be the other idea? Would um, knight takes, pawn takes, knight back, pawn takes, bishop takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, or knight takes. Here, and that looks terrible. Okay, I think I'm getting too fancy. I think I should probably care less about that and play for the long-term weakness on this diagonal. If he he wants to castle that way, so let's go ahead and let him castle, and let's use my dark square bishop against him. That seems like a perfectly logical idea. I'm just kind of discounting f4 as a good move because I wholeheartedly believe that if he plays that, his king is just going to be unbelievably weak. You know, like if he plays that, I immediately have this move, which is very close to no here, which is just very close to like winning. I feel like I don't know. If he plays f4, I definitely think I'm going to take there. Kind of relax some pressure to bring my knight over here. Go bishop here. I would say that this is like a kind of a high level game so far. I mean, like there hasn't been anything super testing, but I feel like it's pretty positional. Okay. Yeah, so I definitely think that this is the move first. Or should I play this right away? This. Just picks up the pawn. Does he have any way to defend both? Can he move the knight? No, it's pinned. I feel like this is just the move. There's probably something that I'm missing because this feels so crushing. That's something that I wasn't taking into consideration in my previous calculations, is that this pawn is also hanging. That's what makes it feel so much stronger now. He can play this, but then I just play this. Funny enough, actually, if he plays this, I actually think that this is my move. I can't take because then my knight hangs. I would love to just sack my knight, but I don't think that that's viable. at all here. I mean, he's definitely going to find either this move or this move. In both cases, I think I just take this pawn. And then the threat is renewed on this. So rook here takes here. Bishop here. I'm definitely going to have to contend with a bit of an initiative, I think, but ultimately this pawn is hanging, and that's I feel like that would be the fulcrum of his attack. I think this move just completely put him in the think tank. Yeah, so that's a very good move, in my opinion. So if I go here, how can he attack my queen? This is his only way. And then I have this square. I technically even have this square. In both cases, bishop back is very strong. So maybe I need to come back here if he does that. Which makes sense. No, if he goes here, I can just take this pawn. Be a dirty little pawn goblin. No, I can't. I can't do that. It's not simple though. Like he's gonna get an initiative on me. He can't take. That's devastating. Yeah. I feel like this is just the only move. And now this comes in pretty strong. Yeah, so if like castle's here, and if he takes, wow. But what about your pawn, homie G? So if I go here and attack your rook, threatening this on the next move, you can go rook here. Shoot. I've missed this move. Queen's getting a little cramped, guys. Queen's getting really cramped. No, he can't. This hangs the knight. Right? Right. But my queen's getting very cramped. Oh, the tactics are crazy here. My tactometer is going nuts right now. So it's really important to notice that this technically does not trap the queen yet. Very important to notice. I also have this check if he doesn't go rook here. Generally speaking, I'm scared. I would say that I'm scared. I'm up on the clock. I'm up a poop ton and a half of material, though. I feel like that was not it. I feel like that was not it. I don't know if I completely care about that pawn. I feel like I can just go here. Oh man, this is crazy right now. What about just this move? Or should I just take... Oh god, I have no idea. My knight feels like a bit of a goner. I feel like takes is a good move. What about here? What about here? There's so many good moves. Oh my goodness, there are literally so many good moves. I also just have knight here. But does that does nothing. That does nothing. Should I just get out with my queen? Let's go here. There attacks the knight, but I give this check. Rook here. I gotta keep up the tempo. That's for sure. Let's just go here. Here first. And then I feel like definitely recapturing makes sense to try to go knight here. This makes me feel a lot better about my queen being able to just like come back. If he goes here, this is devastating. I think he might run out of time ultimately. Tell you what, homeboy's making me fight for it though. Definitely this next, I think. You know, if here... If there, I'm just not so sure. Probably this. Whoa. I'm definitely going to take the opportunity to trade pieces. I mean, yeah. Let's trade. I mean, like, yes, absolutely. Let's trade. So I think here, if this seems exceptionally strong. He can also go here, but this still feels strong after that. And then this square is still well protected. I'm not really saying it, but I'm checking to make sure that when I'm moving these pieces, I'm not just putting them on stupid squares. Like, it's not a dark square that I could exploit. It's not some X-ray that the rook can see through a tactic or anything like that. You know, it's defended by the bishop. Nothing else can see it. Solid pressure here. And now I feel like this move is just extremely strong. Again, taking 0.5 seconds there to double check to make sure that this pawn is good. Trying not to enable any counterplay. And now I feel like I just want to take squares away. Is that move a little bit too flashy? Probably. So right now he's threatening this. So let's be mindful of that. Probably better to do this because he has a dark square bishop rather than give him access to these dark squares by going g6. Don't quote me on that though. So right now these squares are covered. It also helps take care of this. Oh, that was a blunder. Technically he can sack here because it's pinned now. If takes, he can take. Yep. Oh, what a blunder. Do I have this? If technically the bishop is pinned now. So if I go here, he has no checks. That doesn't do anything. Alright, buddy, I'm going to need a blunder out of you. Technically, this move seems strong now. You know, still completely winning. I just lost a pawn. But an unfortunate setback. I also have ideas because this is a pin to go here. There are lots of tactics, so that just hangs. That just hangs this. Unfortunately. But I think my opponent's low on time. Yeah. I mean, good game. You know? Very good game. I played terribly, apparently. I would say that 77 is terrible for my level. Yeah, so this is all book. It just wants takes. No games in this database. Okay. And now, what's the idea? I don't think that I can just go frivolously doing this. The idea is that I just am up a pawn. Yeah, that's the idea. So his best move would be not to trade the queens. What is he saying? Queen e2. Pretty strong idea. Queen e5. Saying, no, 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 really, I insist. That seems wild. So yeah, I've just been building. So this is a miss. Why? 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 I don't understand. Bishop d2. Okay. I just said that on the engine, but that makes no sense, right? Oh, bishop b2, sorry. I read letters backwards sometimes. Rook c8, setting up something gross. Queen e2. Now this wins the pawn. No, it still doesn't want. But what if takes? No, because, yeah, that makes sense. Just to illustrate why this might not be as good. Probably, it would probably be something like this. Nope, never mind. I don't know what the best move is here. I know that it has to do with this whole thing. So takes first, and then if you take with the queen, there you go. Now it makes sense. Now you need to go, yeah, and that'll be check, and you don't have time to take this. You'd be down a piece. So now the best move is to hit him with the desperado. Jesus. Queen takes c4. Wow. I mean, this makes perfect sense. And now this is another desperado. Whoa. And everything is hanging. There's this, there's this. But it just wants castles. I mean, I'd probably play a6 here. No, it wants king g7. Because if this, there's this. Oh, no, 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 what? Oh, because of this. No, no, no. Oh, because of this! Oh my god, alright. I'm done with that. So yeah, it's saying I really could have taken this pawn for an edge, but I felt like I just never needed to. That's something I'm definitely going to have to talk with my coach about this week, is why that was a good move. I just don't understand it. Very happy with finding this move. The tactics training is definitely helping. So the best continuation in this position is actually just knight takes e5. Because if this, then this hits both. And you're just completely winning. Which makes sense. But that's, I would say, punching a little bit above my belt. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going for the trades here. That was the best move. Wow. Okay. It like just taking, but he hung it. Wow, very good game. Okay. So the only reason that it evaluated me so low is because of those misses. Maybe I can, let's try to look one more time in maybe a little bit of a different position. Oh, I completely glanced over this mistake. So why is bishop d6 the best move in this position? Because it facilitates e5. Thematic, like I was saying. Makes sense. Why aren't we taking here? Because we don't have an easy way to recapture. There's no dark square bishop or knight that can hit it easily. Makes perfect sense. Whoa. So when he jumps his knight in, we go back because that's how you do it. You have to threaten the knight that can capture it, or threaten to capture it with a knight. Whoa. Yeah, so I mean, generally speaking, it facilitated e5 and you opened up the center, king's in the center, it makes sense. Okay, fair enough. Now, let's try to look again why here this is better. It's just the idea that this bishop is loose there. It has to be. Yeah, have to play queen e2. Queen does not at all want to be there. Knight h5 to go here. Gross. There's also rook e8, which I don't understand that move at all in such a dynamic position. Well, which is it, Engine? I played both moves, and now it's saying that the other one is the best. Whatever, we'll just continue with knight h5. Castles. And now the Engine is discovering that it really is that much better for black. 42 minutes deep into this analysis. I hope you guys are learning something. So, for those of you who are looking to understand, like, in conclusion, what the general ideas are in the Panov, knight c3, a lot of people play e6. I like knight c6. Like I said, white scores pretty good in the Panov. If I had to venture a guess why, I would say because, like, a lot of Caro-Kann players aren't used to seeing it. I don't know. I don't feel like it's especially better or anything crazy. He had a rock solid plan here, which made sure that I couldn't continue with my plan of, you have to give up that pawn for this pawn. This check takes, queen takes, queen d7. Wow. And this is just an extremely drawish endgame, apparently. I would be playing this for a win with black. My king's more active, double isolated f-pawns. Really easy to set my pawns up on light squares against his dark square bishop. This pawn, I feel like, is going to be such a weakness. But whatever. What do I know? Engine's giving complete zeros, saying, shut the hell up, Austin. Alrighty. Well, in conclusion, I feel like this was a very fun game for me to play. So thank you guys for tuning in. Wow, it's as far as -3 in this position. I saw this because it blocks this. So now you have to do this. And then what's the idea? I keep going back to the analysis. Sorry. I feel like I keep missing nuggets of information. It was after I played rook c8 because I played this in it's 10-second increment, right? So I played this in 5 seconds. So after I played this, after I played this, I saw immediately that this pawn tension, I was only thinking about him taking me, I wasn't thinking about me taking him. But forcing the rook to come out, I mean, that makes perfect sense. And then, you just have to go back. And then I think rook c5 is a madman's move, personally. And the engine doesn't even want you to take it. That's weird. One line is saying this, another line is saying that. I have a hard time believing that rook back is not just a better move than just sacking the rook, but what do I know? Yeah, 94. Kind of what I was talking about in the game. Oh wow, it just wants to sack. But why? I think this should go to show like how dedicated I am to getting better. Like something clicked in me when I was on vacation. I've been watching the hell out of the C Squared podcast with the two grandmasters, and I know that I have it in me to get really good at chess, and I just want to get really good at chess. 92. And now this pawn, I guess, is just a sitting duck. Wow. Queen has... it has two squares, but... that's one hell of an idea, I would say. Would you play this? No, 94. As Levi would say, PP on the PP, right? Put pressure on the pin piece. Anyway, I need to stop. I need to go do something else. This has been a 48-minute video. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. This was one very long, deep dive analysis of a rapid game. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Trying to hit 1K subscribers by the end of the year. Join the Discord, share this video with a friend, all that stuff. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow.